going to keep the hat on.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a Luke.
Bit of a Luke.
Well, people on the internet, like, people in real life know that I wear this hat all the time. They don't know the real me. Come rain or shine, I will be wearing this hat. Hello, this is Editing Rowan, and I just want to apologise for the absolute mess of a video you're about to watch. I hardly talk about any of these books, although, to be fair to me, I don't know much about books going into them, but like The Rage of Dragons I've heard so much about, and I did not mention a thing about it in this video. I'm not gonna lie, I went for cocktails with a friend and I came back and I was like, oh, I haven't filmed my TBR video yet, I'll film it now, thinking, oh, I've got a bit of a buzz, it'll be funny. It's not funny. I'm sorry, it's not funny. Enjoy. I've tried to edit out as much of the shit as possible, but I'm not refilming it because it goes up tomorrow. Thanks. So I'm going to be talking through my picks for my TBR for August for the magical readathon for my NEWTs and for the Trope-ical readathon. I'll start out with the NEWTs because that's easier. I've turned the fan off now. So she's redesigning the whole thing to be her own magical university and her own universe because J.K. Rowling's a transphobe and we don't want to be associated with her. But the readathon is so big and everyone loves it. I'm pretty sure like most people do. The Owls in April and the NEWTs in August. I know I do. I've done it for 3 years in a row. Even though I've only just started BookTube and all that, like I've still taken part in these readathons for 3 years. So I am very glad that she's keeping them and just doing her own twist on it. I think she's leaving these NEWTs up because they may have already been chosen or it was very short notice that she would have had to change the whole thing. So she's leaving the NEWTs up, the prompts up, but just not hosting any sprints or, you know, live shows, nothing like that. Just letting people get on with it if they want to do it. So the career I chose was Metal Charmer, which unfortunately for me you need like loads of NEWTs for. So I'm going to have to read a lot of books in August to get the NEWTs required. I need an E, which is Exceeds Expectations in Ancient Ruins. I would need to read 2 books to get my Ancient Ruins NEWT. To get an A, which is acceptable, I would need to read a book which has an author that has a first name or surname that starts with B. For this, I've chosen Girl, Serpent, Thorn by Melissa Bashardoust. I have the Fairy Loot version, which is in the other room and I can't be asked to get it, so you have the picture of the cover here. What I know about Girl, Serpent, Thorn is that there is a girl who is cursed that whoever she touches dies. I think that's the twist. And I know the main character is bisexual and there is a love triangle between her and a guy and another girl. To get my E in Ancient Ruins, I need to read a classic, which I'm not very happy about because I just don't read classics. I can't be arsed. They're just boring to me, like I'm just not interested, so I may end up not reading this one, but I have picked Dracula. My next NEWT I need to get is Arithmancy, and I need to get an O, which is outstanding, so I'd have to read 3 books. For an A, acceptable, I'd have to read a non-fiction book, and I've chosen Why I'm No Longer Talking to White People About Race by Reni, Eddo-Lodge. For an E, Exceeds Expectations, I have to read a book that ends on an uneven number. And for this, I've chosen to reread Furyborn by Legrand. It has 501 pages, so it fulfills the prompt very easily. And I'm also doing a buddy read of this with my Books and BookTube group on Twitter, and I'm hoping that they will love it as much as I do. But I wanted to read this and Kingsbane before Lightbringer comes out in October. For my O, outstanding, I need to read a book that's between 260 and 299 pages. And for this, I've chosen the first volume of Full Metal Alchemist. At this point, I think everyone knows what Furyborn and Full Metal Alchemist is on my channel.
It's in every single video that you've done so far, I think.
Yeah, pretty much. For my Defense Against the Dark Arts NEWT, I need to get an A, which is acceptable. This prompt is to read a horror or a thriller, so for this I've chosen The Turn of the Key. What's the author? By Ruth Ware. This was recommended to me by someone in the NEWTs Discord. I think it's about a girl who goes to babysit like a really rich family's kids, but the kids start acting really weird, and I think someone ends up dead and she gets blamed. And I think it might be from the perspective of she's like in the courtroom telling her story, like what happened and stuff like that. But I've heard it's very good, there's very good twists in it, so I don't usually read any horror or any thrillers or anything like that, so I tried to
pick like a very good one so that I wouldn't be bored and not pick it up or finish it. Next is my Charms Newt, and I need an O outstanding in this as well. So again, that's another 3 books. I'm never gonna fucking do this. To get an A, the prompt is humorous, so I've picked Harrow the Ninth by Tamsyn Muir. I read Gideon last month and I really, really enjoyed it. It's basically just lesbian necromancers in space with a twist of like a murder mystery, so everyone should get on that. The writing's really funny and I really enjoyed it and I've given it 5 stars, so I'm really excited for the sequel. Although, I don't know why it's not on Audible yet because it's out on like August 4th and I can't pre-order it and I want to listen to the audiobook, but it's not there, so I'm kind of panicking. And I've also pre-ordered the Illumicrate edition, but I don't know how far into August that's going to get here. I hope it doesn't get delayed. For my E in Charms, I need to read a book that's set in winter, and for this I've chosen The Girl in the Tower by Katherine Arden. I read The Bear and the Nightingale last month and I really, really enjoyed it. I gave it 5 stars. Can't wait to carry on with the next one, and I actually got the US hardbacks. I was very lucky to have found them on US Amazon for like secondhand, and it was only like £20 each for them, which isn't too bad for out of stock hardbacks. For my O in Charms, it is Charms, yeah. For my O in Charms, I need to read a manga, so hopefully if I have read Full Metal Alchemist Volume 1 at this point, I will read Full Metal Alchemist Volume 2 for this prompt. Lastly, we have my Transfiguration Newt, which I also need an outstanding in, so it's another 3 books. For a total of 12 books that I need to read in August to get all my newts to be a metal charmer. And there's even some I've added on in the Trope-ical Readathon, so I've doubled up for most of them, but some of them I've had to add on, so it's not gonna happen, is it? For my A in Transfiguration, I need to read a book with an animal on the cover or in the title. And for this, I've chosen The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chokshi. I've heard so much about this for so long. I think it's a heist book with a full cast and it's very diverse. I've heard there's angst between quite a few characters, which I'm excited for. That's pretty much all I know about the book. I've put it off for so long and I really do need to get to it, considering I have an Arc of the Silvered Serpents on my Kindle at the moment. For my E in Transfiguration, I need to read a book with dragons on the cover or in the title. And for this, I've chosen Rage of Dragons by Evan Winter. For my O in Transfiguration, I have to read a hardcover, and I haven't really picked anything for this yet because I could just pick up any hardcover I have, really. Now moving on to the Trope-ical Readathon TBR. So I'm on team SFF, which is science fiction and fantasy, and the first book will be the group book, which is Cinderella is Dead. I personally probably won't be reading this because I'm not too interested in it and I've got so many other books to read. I just wanted to insert it here in case anyone else was interested in this readathon and thought, oh, I want to read that book anyway. That is the group book, and it does give you more points. It gives you 150 points if you read the group book, but there's so many people on the SFF team anyway, I don't think they'll be remiss if I'm the only one who doesn't read the group book. It's a Cinderella retelling with a black main character. I don't know anything else about this book, but I have heard good things, but I'm just not in the mood for retellings at the moment. For the book that features a magical academy, I've chosen Equal Rites by Terry Pratchett. This just takes place at the Unseen University in the Discworld. I think it's about a girl who inherits a magical power or is the heir of something when usually it's boys, and it's about her breaking the norm and being like, well, women can be magicians too, or wizards too. The next prompt I've chosen is a book written before 2000, and this will be a Sabriel reread. I want to reread the first 3 books in the Sabriel trilogy before I move on to the added books that Garth Nix has written, which are Golden Hand and Clariel. I would like to reread Sabriel because I haven't read them in a while. I might not get to this considering it's a reread and it's not a buddy read or anything, but it's something I do want to get to soon. So I've put it to a prompt, but I may not get to it till maybe September. Next, I've got a book that I've previously DNF'd, and I've got Foundryside by Robert Jackson Bennett for this. I didn't technically DNF this, it was more similar like I did with Mistborn. I think I was not in the mood for it, so I put it down. I think I got 33% of the way into the Kindle ebook, but I think I just wasn't in the mood for it. I put it down and I just kind of never picked it back up, and that was about 5 or 6 months ago. So I would have to reread that first 30%, but I'm buddy reading it with the Space Sirens book club. The next few I am doubling up with some of the NEWT prompts, so I'll probably go through these quite quickly. I've picked Harrow the Ninth for main characters' parents are dead or passed away. I've got Rage of Dragons for read a book that starts with the same letter as your first name, so my name's Rowan, I've picked Rage of Dragons. For Forbidden or Off-Limits Romance, I have picked Girl, Serpent, Thorn. For read an ebook, I have picked The Girl in the Tower. For read a book that someone else has chosen or recommended, I've got The Turn of the Key. For read a genre you don't usually read, I have got Why I'm No Longer Talking to White People About Race. For read a book that's been adapted to TV or film, I've got Dracula. So that's it for my NEWTs and Trope-ical Readathon TBR. Let me know if you're taking part in either of these readathons and check out the Twitters below, I've linked them. Let me know if you're excited for these books as well, or if you've read them, let me know what you think. And I'll see you in another video. Bye.